new epitaph, then she sighs and reads her own, and then she lays herself back down in the ground of her home. Mary made a monster out of me. Mary, Mary made a monster out of me. The ghost of Frankenstein's monster stalks down the promenade and screams in tandem with the seagulls, reads summer postcards, and gathers up his body in all its disparate shards, and walks into the channel and swims ever south polewards. Mary made a monster out of me. Mary, Mary made a monster out of me. The ghost of Mary Shelley walks around this town, and her head's a petri dish in which the god in the machine is drowned, and Shelley's heart is in her mouth, and on her head a laurel crown, and in her hands a timeline torn from a blood-drenched lab gown. Mary made a monster out of me. Mary, Mary made a monster out of me. The ghost of Frankenstein's monster stalks down the promenade, a composite of spare ribs, parts, lost hearts, post-mortem human lard. He opens up his mushy maw. Listen and listen hard. Mary made a monster out of me. Mary, Mary made a monster out of me. Thank you.
So, who's been here before? Okay, not many of you. Right, I saw a couple of people walk in and go, oh wow. And it is, I think, one of Bournemouth's best kept secrets. It's an absolutely beautiful building. And I joined the project in January, and we'd just been given these seats from the IMAX cinema that was going to be demolished in Bournemouth. We can all have our views as to whether these seats are ultimately suitable for this space, but they're comfortable and they were free, and it means that we can get people, we can start using the building straight away. So, we put in the tiered seats, and it's enabled us to put on events through this year. We've had a lot of debate, and the debate is still running, as to do we restore the building, or do we use it in its current state? And personally, I'm very much of the school that a lot of its charm and warmth and special feel, which I think it has, lies in the way that it currently is. I think it's a building that cries out it wants to be loved and wanted, rather than restored. So I'm currently winning that argument, I hope, and so we'll be using it in its current state for quite some time. Professional artists who've been down here from professional theatre companies, as I try and entice them to come and perform here, are far more excited about the space because of its so I think we'll keep the theatre like this for the time being. Challenges that we have are going to be keeping it warm, and so in the spirit of Sir Percy Bysshe Shelley, not the best behaved boy on the block, we've got some blankets out there we'll be hiring out, and it's 50p if you're using it on your own, £2 if you're lucky enough to find someone to cuddle with underneath. So we'll be relying on body heat, but also we will have some great big fan heaters. We'll warm the place up, but during the show they'll have the switch off, so blankets out in the winter, but that all adds a part of the theatre experience. And I quite like that bohemian feel in this space, and I do want to try and keep that. So we'll be setting up the charity in September, and the charity will take over a lease for the building, and then we will be working on some development. And the area I want to work on is that foyer area, so that we can make that a bit wind and waterproof. It's waterproof, and make it windproof, so that we can use it as a bar and a little bit more comfort in the future. But I need to get that money raised, and so I'll be going out from around September time. We'll be putting on plays and performances, and if this place is to live, it's got to be used. So please look up the things that we've got happening on Shelley Theatre website. It's www.shelleytheatre.co.uk. We've got events starting next Saturday. We've got play taking place at the end of September, which should be really exciting. And we've also going to be supporting the Bournemouth Arts Festival this year through September and October. So there's going to be a nice range of some very, very different events. And so please go out there, be enthusiastic about this space to everyone that you know, get them to come and use it. My whole strategy on getting the funding and getting this place built is by getting it in use. For charity funders at the moment, they ask two questions. What's the purpose of the place? And why is it critical now? In this time of austerity, why now? Why can't it wait? And we've got the Shelley Heritage, and we've got a lovely building, but where's the fire? Why do you need the money right now to get this place working? So I want to get it up and running. We've had Vita Nova Scratch Night here, we've had various events, we're going to have plays. I want this to be a first-class community and professional theatre outlet, and then I can demonstrate. You know, we've had audiences of XYZ, and that supports the case for why we need it now and why we're going to do it. So you guys, by coming to our events and telling your friends, families, everyone else to come along, will help me make that case. And then we get a beautiful asset in the Bournemouth area, which is going to be unique in terms of its programming, the support it will give to local professional artists as well as community artists. So that's the goal, and so please help and support, and I look forward to welcoming you all to future events.
Again, thank you, Patrick, for today. If we can make as much noise as out there, thank you, Patrick, that'd be amazing.
Mary, Mary made a monster out of me. The ghost of Frankenstein's monster stalks down the promenade and screams in tandem with the seagulls, reads summer postcards, and gathers up his body in all its disparate shards, and walks into the channel and swims ever south polewards. Mary made a monster out of me. Mary, Mary made a monster out of the end of the day, and I don't want to wait my turn, and I don't want to stand
Grocers, shading old new fears. The darkness in Jokers is where the story starts. The darkness shrouds, mirrors shattered. Now, together, you'll go far. But when the crowds are all gone, and you're left in your own spin, my freckles join together and hide my dreadful skin.
Lost in their feelings, unaware of mine. She leaned back against the smooth, firm beach as he pressed in close their fingers reached between the folds of loosened clothes. His breathing quickened, her colour rose. The softness of skin and light.
9 red jets in 2 neat arrows punch across the space. Their nose lights glisten sharply against their roar. In a twinkling, they are gone.
Soar like eagles, all the way down to the beaches, soaring like eagles. And when we get to the beaches, we'll find those caves. Do you know those caves they have? The caves that go on for miles. Go down the caves and find the chambers.
Easter comes in the spring. Chocolate goodies is the thing. Bunnies and eggs and cakes with nests. It is no secret I love chocolate. Birthday treats all in store. Chocolate gateau with chocolate curls, fudge and icing white and brown. Scrape the mixed bowl round.